Yeah. All right, we are recording now. This is episode 3 of the podcast. Carlo is not here today. Instead, we've got Mr. John Toon, or as I like to call him, Jean Toon.
Jean Toon? What's happening?
Not much, man. This is interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
It is. It's a podcast vibe.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed it is.
It's a very high quality podcast vibe.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting how... So for those listening, we are at PT Knitwear in the Lower East Side. And Carlo found this resource. It's a free podcasting kind of resource. And yeah, I mean, it's a very nice studio, very professional. Sometimes the people that are signing up aren't very professional because they take 20 minutes longer than they should. But at least they give you a free lemonade. So
they did give you a free lemonade.
Yeah,
and she
nice.
might cast you in one of her movies.
She said she's a feature writer. So, I mean, yay.
Yeah, maybe it's worth the 20 minutes.
Maybe. So, John, dude.
What's up?
Yeah, so, all right, let me just give you the layout, basically. What Carlo and I do, which we don't really have to do, but, you know, I don't know.
I saw you had a list of questions or something. You were doing some research on me? You doing research on me?
I don't need to do research on you. I know everything about you.
Yeah.
I know everything. I know which hand that you wipe your ass with.
Which one?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
buddy. All right.
I had to think about that for a second. I was like, do I ever? No, it's always the right.
See, I know everything about you. I'm kidding. But fucking nice. How's it going, man?
Dude, doing pretty good. It's a typical New York day. I've kind of just been like bouncing around everywhere. Had a little meeting in the city earlier. Went to a coffee shop. Did some work.
Can you talk about this meeting?
Yeah, so it was a meeting with an owner of a production company that has interest in the Paparazzi Boys, which is a social media group that I'm part of, that you clearly know about.
Yeah, well, like, can you kind of talk about the Paparazzi Boys a little bit?
So the Paparazzi Boys is a social media group that you can find on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And it's basically just a comedy outlet for myself, my friend Jeff Wiles, and my other friend Kieran. And it kind of started like 3 years ago on Halloween in 2021, where we dressed up as, paparazzi. And we kind of just went out on the streets of New York and took cameras, took photos of all the people that were dressed up and kind of like just acted like they were celebrities. And we were like photographing like some real celebrities like Big Bird and Garfield, Little Red Riding Hood, Little Bo Peep, like iconic characters. So we basically just made these videos and they ended up like kind of popping off on the internet.
So I'm curious because like the first videos that you did were like, I've seen that lately. It's kind of it's taken on a life of its own. It's you're working with like a whole bunch of different influencers, but when you started doing it, the first like few episodes, was it like you guys just basically taking the phone out and just like essentially running up to random people in the street and like was that the first one? So like people had no idea what the hell was going on.
So the first video that ended up popping off, and it didn't actually pop off till like a year later. Uh-huh. It circulated back around on the internet a year later on Halloween 2022. But when we first did it, we weren't using a phone. We were using a legitimate camera.
Yeah.
Kieran's like a videographer, a director, editor in New York City. Mm-hmm. And we kind of went out with the intention, like, hey, like let's make a short film, kind of. You know, we're all actors, so let's let's make something that's visually pleasing, while kind of trying to satisfy this idea.
Right.
And yeah, and since it's Halloween in New York City, like, you know, people want to be photographed in their costumes.
Yeah.
They want to be recognized for the work that they put into it. So it was pretty well accepted. Like, people were digging it, and we just kind of did it the whole night, and we got a lot of funny stuff on camera, but we really acted like we were paparazzi. We really acted like these people were famous.
Yeah.
So we're like jaw dropped, you know, and they're so happy to get this recognition about their costume.
I just always think about the that one Eric Andre sketch where they're these people are like coming out of the grocery store, and Eric Andre and I think it was Hannibal Buress, they just like basically go up to these people that are just like on their shopping carts, just pushing their shopping carts, and they've got a group of like 6 news reporters with them, just bombarding these random people with questions. And then Hannibal Buress, like, so Eric Andre goes, "Are the allegations true?" And just like, and they're all just like asking these questions to these random people. And then Hannibal Buress comes out of nowhere and he's like, "Okay, my client will not answer any of these questions."
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. And that's basically essentially what the Paparazzi Boys is. It's like a parody Man on the Street.
Yeah.
It's like a satirical Man on the Street.
But then once you got some traction, you actually started to do it for birthday parties and like, you know, like you just had it for like a wedding engagement, right? Was that?
Yeah. It was a bachelorette party.
Oh, bachelorette party. Okay, yeah. That's right. That's
for my acting
agent.
Yeah. Your former acting agent.
My former acting agent. Yeah. Shout out Hilda.
Shout out Hilda Morphy. Glitter Talent Agency in New York, New Jersey.
But yeah, I find it so funny that like I just find it kind of absurd that the first episode is just like random people, just unexpected, like unsuspecting passerbys just getting like, I keep wanting to say just getting harassed by like 3 guys just walking up to them, like getting harangued to be like, "Paparazzi," just like screaming.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because like still sometimes to this day I'm like, do these people mind? Because we have flashes on the camera,
right?
You know, I'm like, do these people mind that there's all these flashes going off, you know, around them, and we're creating a scene?
Yeah,
and I would say it's like 90 to 95% accepted.
The people like fuck with it.
Yeah, there's a couple people that are like, "What are you doing? Stop this! This is ridiculous! I want to fight you."
Yeah.
But it's like it's such a small percentage that it's not hindering to our work.
Do you? I guess one way you could take it theoretically, or you could have taken it. Now it's. I guess you don't really do it to random strangers anymore. You're just doing it for specific like influencers and things like that. Or do you still do it to like random people?
Well, okay. So you mentioned birthday parties.
Yeah.
So Jeff takes care of all the DMs and all the emails. There's an email address now,
right.
The Paparazzi Boys, I think, at gmail.com. And people send us direct messages on Instagram. And like for a minute there, we were getting like hundreds of requests per month. Like, can you come to Iowa for my 18th birthday party? Can you fly out to Hawaii? Can you go to Texas for my prom?
Yeah.
And like, we were getting all these requests, and Jeff would just respond like, yeah, for $1 million, you know? But like, the thing is like those videos, because they're so like wholesome and so just for the people,
right.
They usually like do very well on the internet.
Yeah.
So like, that's something that we kind of all, since it's been years since we started this, it's been something that we're all kind of like, do we still want to do birthdays?
Yeah.
Do we still want to do parties? You know, like bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
It's still kind of up in the air whether or not like we should do that. We should do some of them. We should do some birthdays, and some like special events, because it's, you know, it's nice to do something for other people.
But like when it was starting out, you were just doing it to random people. Like you would be going to like the Halloween. There was no like, okay, we're gonna do this for you kind of thing. We're just like, all right, we're just getting up and doing them.
Yeah, I mean, it started off as like a Halloween idea.
Right.
It started off as a Halloween idea. So
Right.
all these people that we put in the original videos, they had no idea. We didn't set anything up. With
Exactly.
them.
Yeah.
You know, and then like some days we all kind of were like say, hey, you guys want to all meet up in the Lower East Side and just like wreak havoc on the streets of New York?
Do you still do that?
We kind of like play with the idea. It's been a minute since we've done that.
Like just go fucking ape shit.
Yeah. And that content usually ends up like
Being
like the most viral content.
I can imagine, because if it was just like, let's just get a reaction out of these people.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's the best shit, because some people get really mad, be like, get the fuck out of them. And then that shit is the stuff that like hits and like takes off.
Yeah, so that's why like, so when there's like big events in the city, like SantaCon or like Comic-Con,
right?
You know, like people they're kind of like, they want, for the most part, it feels like they want the attention.
Yeah.
You know, they want to kind of just celebrate what they're out there celebrating.
I think a really good idea would be
SantaCon's hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a shit show.
I imagine like SantaCon, you just like form a circle around a guy throwing up. And you're just like, paparazzi.
He would look at the camera
like
while mid throw up, and he'd be like, smile and a thumbs up.
Like a 25-year-old just drunk off of his ass. He's like blackout drunk. And you're just like, paparazzi.
Oh no, dude! The shit people say when they're drunk, especially at SantaCon, it's like film gold.
SantaCon.
It's film gold, and we've done that at least once or twice.
The idea of that just gives me anxiety.
It gives me anxiety too.
Oh god.
I don't want to be a part of it as a Santa, but if I want to be in any way part of it, it'll be as a paparazzi making some social media videos.
That's fucking. And now, what about Comic-Con? That's coming up.
Comic-Con's coming up. Yep.
You guys have something planned for
October 17th through 20th.
Oh shit!
I believe. Yeah.
Sounds like you do. Or are you gonna go? So it is a Paparazzi Boy event.
It's going to be a Paparazzi Boy event.
It will.
Yeah. We've all like submitted our creator passes on the Comic-Con website, so we can get free passes to hang out there for like 3-4 days. And like, like that's another place too, where like, you know, people want to be photographed there.
Yeah.
They want to celebrate their costumes and their work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're definitely going to do Comic-Con this year. It was a lot of fun last year. Yeah. Kieran was actually in a wheelchair last year, because we filmed a promotional video for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And he fell in he fell not in the subway tracks, but he fell like, we were filming a scene in the subway, and we were all like running like towards the stairs.
Yeah.
And me, Kieran, and Jeff were like in a line, and you know the subway is sometimes a narrow track.
Right.
And Kieran fell, and he like busted his knee like 3 or 4 days before Comic-Con. So he had to get like a leg brace. He went to the doctors. Like his knee was like fucked up.
Oof.
And but it made the Comic-Con videos hilarious, because we're pushing him around in a wheelchair while me and Jeff also have cameras. We're pushing him around in a wheelchair where he has a camera and he's like interacting with the people at Comic-Con. It was like a vibe. You know?
That's awesome.
And let me tell you, if you go to Comic-Con and you're being pushed around in a wheelchair, it's fucking amazing. You don't gotta walk; you just soak everything in.
And this is the Javits Center, right?
It's a Javits Center, yeah.
Javits Center.
Yeah, it's massive. So many people are there.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting pushed around in a wheelchair. Like, you're treated like a king, basically.
Who was like
hot anime girls come up to you like, "Hey, you okay?"
That's so funny. That's like who was like the most, I guess, at Comic-Con, who is the most interesting person to paparazzi, or interesting character?
I mean, there were so many.
Yeah.
There was so many. One that just came to the top of my head was there's this guy that cosplays as Peter Griffin.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
You've seen that guy?
Yeah.
He's so spot on.
Yeah.
It's uncanny.
Yeah.
Like, I follow him on like Instagram and like YouTube now.
Yeah.
But it was just like amazing to see him like in person, and he welcomed, you know, the paparazzi.
Something about that guy has like there's a very like kind of cocky vibe about him.
You think so?
Yeah, I get this like completely just like, you know, he's got the Peter Griffin fame, so he's a little bit just like, you know, he's got, at least, I don't know, I haven't seen much of his content lately. I think I saw a video where he was like playing a video game and he as Peter Griffin.
Oh yeah, he
like
plays
that.
as Peter Griffin on Fortnite.
Yeah. And then, but I don't know, I feel like I saw a video of him one time and it was just like, maybe he was like out of character a little bit, but he was kind of douchey. And I was like, this is weird. Like, he's
damn.
like, he's got like, he's got
Maybe
that.
he's having a bad day.
He's got that Peter Griffin fame now, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the Peter." He's like, "I am the real life Peter Griffin."
Well, I think they parodied him, or at least put him into one of the Family Guy episodes.
The Family Guy episodes.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good flex, you know.
Yeah, it's a massive flex. He was probably one of the more memorable people that I saw there. But there was a lot, you know. There was like this guy in a Terminator costume.
Yeah,
he had like, you know, half of his face was like robot, half his face was like, you know, the Terminator, not robot. And you know, he like totally got into it.
Yeah,
you know,
in character. He was like, how would Terminator be in the Paparazzi
he like
universe?
Pointed his shotgun at us. We were like, you know, John Connor, get down. Who's your daddy?
Say some more phrases.
Well, I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine.
So how's the weather today, Terminator?
It's 60 degrees. It's cold, dreary, the overcast. It's
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel melancholy.
I'm sorry.
Very melancholy. I don't know how to feel. I'm a robot, you idiot.
You started to veer into Christopher Walken territory a little bit.
The T-1000 is a cybernetic organism built out of human flesh and endoskeleton. Sent here.
Can you combine the two?
No, it's impossible to combine the two. It's not possible.
It's not. Can't do it, dude.
That's really funny. I'm pretty sure someone asked me to do a Christopher Walken joint accent with another actor. I can't remember who it was, but I was like, man, to do like Christopher Walken and then somebody else is very difficult.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I guess it comes down to like
two mice.
What would you say?
Two mice fell into a bucket of cream.
This is good. I've never heard you do Christopher Walken before. This is great. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck.
I'll put that on my resume.
Yeah, dude. Look, after this podcast airs, we'll send it to your agent and we'll say, hey, look, he is now open for impressions. Christopher Walken Terminator impressions. Like, you know, Christopher Walken as the Terminator.
Let's go.
I think I love it, dude.
Christopher Walken as a Terminator.
Beautiful.
That would look hilarious.
That would be great, dude. How good of a movie would that be? Like, and it's a drama. Like, it's a real film. Like, Christopher Walken is the Terminator.
Wow.
How like, and then he takes into his he goes into his what do you call you know, he like, what is that movie where he's in Vietnam with De Niro?
Deer Hunter?
Yeah, like he goes into his like dramatic chops as the Terminator, and he's like, now life, what is life? Now I've become cybernetic organism. Now I will take your life, but pontificate. Like, I can't do it. Like,
he's gonna be playing Russian roulette
with his own hand,
captured by the Viet Cong.
Like his hand has become a gun, and he's like
about to shoot himself.
I'm a cybernetic organism. Cool, man. So what else? Okay, so we've done Paparazzi Boys. We can get off that topic a little bit.
Paparazzi Boys. Follow the Paparazzi Boys.
Paparazzi! At what? Paparazzi Boys?
At Paparazzi Boys.
I love it. They did, you did Red Bull. You did Red Bull.
Yeah, we were collabing with Red Bull.
I started watching more F1. I'm going to...
Oh, nice.
I'm going to Circuit of Americas in Texas next month.
Ooh.
For the F1 race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Super excited about it. I just started... I started watching F1 backwards. So I was like, all right, it's 6 seasons. I started on season 6, got to season 5, finished that, and then took a hiatus and was like, all right, I got to get back into this because I'm about to go to Texas. So I just finished season 1. So now I'm on season 2, but I'm like right back into it, you know? And so now I'm like getting to know all the all the players. However, what I am kind of sad about is one of my favorite drivers is Daniel Ricciardo, and apparently like Singapore was his last race, and I was kind of bummed about that. Like, I don't know if, I mean, it's kind of a rumor, but it's kind of the writings on the wall right now that he's done after that race. So I was a little bummed that I wouldn't be able to see him drive, but I'm still excited to see the other guys. But yeah, you met like Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel, right? Or it was Vettel, or I don't know who it was.
So the main guy that we met was David Coulthard. Mm-hmm. He's a British guy who's been like heavy in F1. I think like since F1 like started, and he was actually in the car racing it on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington D.C. They shut the street down and they did like a full drag, like right in the middle of Washington D.C. That was crazy.
What was it for? Was there a race there?
It wasn't a race. It was just an event. It was just it was like Red Bull wanted to bring F1 to Washington D.C. and they shut down like a full like a half mile of that super busy street. I think it's Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, that's the president.
They shut down like the entire street and they were just driving an F1 car down it.
Interesting. I wonder why, like, what it was for. Like, it must have been for some, I think it's just like a summer event. Yeah. I think it was a summer, like, get people to fucking, that makes sense. I think, no, because I was just watching and they were like, they did a big Japan event when they switched their engine from Renault to Honda, because they have Honda engines, but it used to use Renault engines. So they had a huge event in Japan, and Max Verstappen was doing burnouts in a F1 vehicle. The drivers are insane, dude.
Yeah, I was literally standing right above a F1 car while they were revving the engine. Yeah. And at first I was like, I can get close to this thing. I can get a little close. Yeah. And then they like really revved it all the way. Dude, you got to put earplugs in. You like it's crazy loud.
It's wild.
And just to see the smoke, I've seen a couple burnouts too. It's insane.
Have you seen the crashes?
I've seen the crashes.
God damn.
Yeah, I've seen the crashes.
But you've actually seen the cars up close, like up front. And then so you fucking, because I can imagine.
I touched the car.
Fuck, man. Yeah. You touched the Red Bull,
the Oracle Racing.
Fuck, man. Yeah. That would have been sick if you, if they let you guys, jump into the cockpit, jump into the car.
They have, in the Red Bull headquarters, I think in Santa Monica in California, they have a F1 car. Yeah. They're, one of the newest Oracle Racing F1 cars. And I think Jeff was, asking our liaison, hey, can I sit in this? And they were like, yeah, go for it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sick, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
I've never sat in an F1 car. Yeah. The closest thing I've ever sat in was an electronic go-kart.
It's funny, the last podcast, Carlo and I were talking about how in Canada they had these things called cars to go, or they're kind of like zip cars, these mini electric cars. Okay. And he was talking about how nobody wanted to get a DD, designated driver, so they would drive these mini cars drunk. But the mini cars could go 60 to 70 miles an hour max. And just and then they stopped doing it. They stopped letting I can't remember what it was, but it was just I don't think they have those cars anymore or something.
I think I remember that zip car.
It's zip car. I don't know. He was saying it was something else, but that's what I was going to name the title of the podcast: "Drunk Driving the Zip Car." Just
and that on actual streets.
on road, if you're here in New York, you're I'm kind of fucked up. I don't have a DD or anything. Let me just get this mini car that doesn't go normal fast, but goes.
Is it one of those smart cars, the compact?
Yeah, a compact car, a tiny.
Oh, dude, that's the worst car to be in if you get into an accident. You're just gonna get crushed.
Yeah, no, but. I mean, it also goes 60 miles an hour. Yeah. Which is, if you're fucked up and you're it's not normal fast, it's fast. I was only going at 65, officer. Yeah, I ran over a mother and your child.
Yeah. You should just not drive your car, any car, drunk. It's hard enough to ride a bicycle when you're drinking.
I've definitely...
a couple times.
I've definitely ridden Well, previous podcast listeners would know my story around that world. We don't have to tread that old ground. But cool.
But yeah, those F1 crashes though.
Yeah,
like
dude.
circling back to that.
Me.
Yeah, like. And there's been I can't remember his name, but there's been someone that's survived one.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you watch, I can't remember which driver it was, but he flips multiple times.
Yeah.
He broke like 60 bones. He's the one person I think that has withstood and lived the most amount of G forces. Like I think from deceleration, from going so fast to now going no miles an hour. The most deceleration.
Jesus.
So it was like 18 or 19 G's or something like that. It was a really high amount.
Is he what year did that happen? Around.
And this guy survived too.
Is this like an 80s, 90s?
I think it's like a early 2000s thing.
Okay, because the thing is like the drivers used to die all the time in F1, and then they started doing all the protection protocols. Like I was watching an episode recently, and it was Fernando Alonso's car. Like he was like for McLaren, literally popped over another car.
Oh my God.
And it was like, had he landed on that car, like it was just like an F1 car just jumps and it was Charles Leclerc's car, who's like a big star now. But at the time, it was like he was just like another driver, like a young driver. But I mean, the whole fucking car, because these cars they're trying to make them as light as possible.
Yeah.
And so if you do hit something, it can literally pop up like, like 3 feet into the air or like 5 feet in the air, Yeah. That's insane. Like
that's like what they made that Gran Turismo movie.
See, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, that was a pretty good one.
Is that what, does that have like a lot of shit like that?
Yeah, well, I think it's based on like real events.
Shit,
like this car like pops up, right? NASCAR.
Yeah.
It was a NASCAR.
Okay. Yeah.
Or something. Gran Turismo. Yeah. But essentially, the car popped up, went over the track, the fence, and flew into the audience and killed an audience member.
This is actually real.
Actual.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they based the movie on that.
Man, that's not F1, is it?
I think it was NASCAR.
Okay, so Gran Turismo is NASCAR.
I believe so.
Okay, because I know Brad Pitt's producing an F1 movie.
Oh, sweet.
And I think he's playing like a driver, but so Gran Turismo is NASCAR. Yeah, dude, they go at like 200 miles an hour, and then it's a rather light car, but the engine is fucking insane.
Yeah.
So it's just like you're done. Like I mean, that's how Senna, like one of the greatest drivers, he died. I think he got like a tire hit him in the head or something like that. Like,
oh, geez.
I think the last person to die in F1 was in 2015. Jules Bianchi, and like I feel like I know all this shit now because I'm not even watching this shit.
Yeah,
so
well,
much.
if you ever have Jeff on this show, Jeff knows a ton about F1.
We'll bring him on.
Yeah. Those cars are.
Speaking
so
of
fast.
Gran Turismo, David Harbour, which is your celebrity doppelganger,
dude.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to watch out, Mr.
He's gonna have to watch out, David Harbour. If you hear this, man, I'm coming. I'm coming for you, David. Watch out.
I want you.
Yeah, no, he's a good actor.
Yeah,
I like David Harbour. He's been around for like forever too. He's been in like I watched a movie recently and he was like, he was in Black Mass with Johnny Depp. Yeah, he played a part in Black Mass.
Interesting.
That was like 2015. Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
Is he like a cop in Black Mass or?
He's I think he's what is he? He might be he might be like a detective. Yeah.
I wonder when did Black Mass come out?
I think it was 2015.
So he was already had Stranger Things fame. I guess he had done like the first season or two of Stranger Things at that point, and then probably was getting more high profile stuff. Like, because to do a Johnny Depp movie is a big move, like a career. Probably when he got that, he was probably like fucking ecstatic. Like, oh fuck, dude, this is what it is. You know, like
yeah, he was really good in it too.
Yeah, and I must say you were very good in your latest film, am I allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
NDA?
Absolutely.
NDA?
No. You can talk about it.
Jesus Christ, I don't know.
What can I
don't
say?
fucking know.
I'm like looking at you like,
Yeah. So yeah, you play a father. Very good. I enjoyed it. I was impressed. I don't know. Have you been taking lessons lately, or have you just kind of changed your tone and vibe? Because and maybe it's like I guess I always saw you as, because you do so much with Austin. Clarification: Austin is a sketch comedy content creator, writer. He's not a content creator, but he's like he writes sketches and shoots them around New York. But I think I've mainly seen you in the context of that. So for me to see you and I saw you in Nate's stuff back in the day, but I don't think your role was too big in that, so it wasn't much to go off of. But yeah, I think seeing you, I've seen your auditions before, but yeah, I was impressed. I was like, I didn't know, yeah, I feel like in your roles previously, you play this kind of caricature of yourself, but in that one, it was like, oh, this is like John as a father, and I really liked it. I enjoyed watching it. It was a bit dark. It had elements of what's that movie? There's something about what's that movie? Something
About Kevin?
Yeah,
Something about
Tilda
Kevin,
Swinton and it's not Emil Hirsch, but I forgot the other guy's name. He was a Marvel. He played the Flash. Oh, Ezra Miller.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's got a little vibe about that.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen that yet, but I think I know the premise kind of it. Yeah. But I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Man,
Thank you. That was a really cool project to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it was made by some very talented brothers, Ryan and Sean Mickelraith. I hope I said that right. I think I did, but they're amazing. They're just two bros that are from New York, and they I think they just have a passion for filmmaking, and they also edit for SNL. They've won Emmys for editing SNL.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And just recently, they won an Emmy for John Mulaney's, I think it's called Everyone's in LA.
Oh, is that his stand-up special? Or like, no, it's not a stand-up. It's a man on the street stuff.
Yeah. They worked on that,
cool.
and they just won Emmys for editing.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. It was super cool, and sometimes and I love playing characters that are just like real to life characters, because they're hard for me, because I am used to doing like more caricature,
right,
like over the top stuff. That stuff is easy for me.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing something that's just like, hey, just be real, be normal.
I get that.
It's super challenging for me. And like, that's kind of like what I want to lean into more as an actor.
Yeah.
Just like, how can I, just be more real.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most recent tape that you sent had elements of that. I think it was close to that. It's a process like that. I've been working with this coach in Los Angeles named Jeff Pride. I told you about him.
Oh yeah, Jeff Pride. Yeah, he's the man.
He's a hard ass, but he's himself. He has a pretty strong resume. He's been on like 1923 and NCIS and like a bunch of shows as like guest star kind of roles. But he's really difficult as a coach. He's very tough.
Really? In what ways is he tough?
He's super, super detailed. Super, like every moment is under his, like if he's looking at your tape, he will pinpoint every single moment, and anything that rings false in the tape.
Wow.
That's like you were pushing here, or you like, you're pushing here, or you're trying too hard, you're trying something here. He takes it out of you. And I mean, I've probably had, I don't know, at this point, like maybe like 13, 14 lessons with him, but it completely changed my entire approach to how to audition,
Yeah.
But it's not even just auditioning. I think it's just like a approach to on-camera performing, not even on camera. I think it's just an approach to like what acting can be.
So let me ask you, Jeff Pride watches your audition tape. Mm-hmm. He gives you notes. Mm-hmm. They're a bit harsh. Mm-hmm. Do you reshoot the audition tape before you send it to the agent?
No. I've just been working sides with him. Like I haven't even been. I have the agent, but like these aren't like auditions that I've been getting. It's
This is
just
practice?
Just practice, yeah.
Oh,
just
okay,
class
great.
with him. But yeah, even if you were to work with him, probably it would just be like, yeah, like, you know, you do a tape, you send it to him, and then you have the class and he just talks about the tape. And like recently it's turned into a very kind of like, you know, like in sports, you know, like when you're like, if you're doing like football coaching or, you know, you're in tennis, like I was saying to him the other day, I was like, this really feels like my tennis coaching days, because my coach would, you know, film us and then we'd watch the tape and be like, you see how your ball toss is here? Your ball toss should be back here. And it's just like so he gets very nitty gritty with like, okay, you see what you're doing here? You're doing this because you feel like you need to do something, you know? Give me 1 second, hold on.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I thought we closed this. This is never closed.
Soundproof this shit. This is classified information here.
Well, yeah, I want to make sure the sound is like completely as good as it can be. You know what I mean? Fuck. Anyway, what was I talking about?
We were talking about Jeff Pride, talking about audition tapes, nitpicking kind of like moments, you know.
Yeah. Because I think he's very big on like moment to moment, you know, like, which is, you know, that's a very buzzwordy kind of thing to go about, but it's hard. It is, I think, it's also like kind of had a little bit of a mental change and shift for me in terms of how I'm approaching the industry, because I think I've always approached it through like, you know, you're in New York and you do theater, and theater is how you get better as an actor, which is great, which is true. I think it's the philosophy of acting, but I also do think there's something to be said about like, you know, learning from the world itself, you know, like, I think on the other podcast, I was like, well, instead of an acting class, what if I just, you know, went gambling in Chinatown? You know, it's just like, what are you really experiencing when you go gambling in Chinatown? I don't know, but it's like going to be different than when you're like doing a scene from Shakespeare with, you know, somebody that might not want to be in that class, but's just taking it for their resume, you know? So it's just made me kind of think in a different, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying taking a class in Shakespeare is bad. I'm not, FYI. But
Shakespeare? Taking a Shakespeare class?
Yeah, I think
I don't think it's ever a bad idea.
No, it's never a bad idea. It's I don't know, it's just a different way of thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he, you know, like acting is subjective in a lot of ways, but like I've rewatched auditions and then I've rewatched auditions where I'm like, oh, okay, like that's more believable.
Right.
And a lot of times the more believable ones are the ones where, you know, you can't tell that you're acting first off, but like you just, I don't know, like to be like real is to be, you know, and like you said, like moment to moment is a buzzword, you know, but to be real is hard because, you know, you got these lines you got to say, you know, but it's not just the lines. It's like sometimes like those moment of silences for processing stuff, you know, I used to like bounce around a lot, you know, and like I used to not breathe when I did auditions, and I would just I would just not breathe. I wouldn't just take a second to go and then say like the next line or something. Right. But like, it's important to like, you know, like, I guess don't just try to spit the lines out.
That's kind of where I'm at in my process is like what I've noticed a lot is that I try to rush through the sides, you know, try to rush through the audition, say your lines and then wait for them to say their lines. And you know, I think obviously like I've gotten over time better. I think you learn to mask it better. But I think to hit another level, to like hit another gear per se, is to really, you know, just live the moment and just like, and I think that's especially on camera, because if there's a hint of phoniness, if there's a hint of like rushing, if there's anything that can really it'll pick it up. Like, I mean, it'll pick up like a micro, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
0.00000, right? Like
That's so true.
0.00001, right, percent. But yeah, I think it's like taking your time.
And they always say listen.
Yeah.
You know, they always say just listen. Acting is reacting.
It's hard, man. It's and I think it's hard because
It's a skill. It's a serious skill.
it's a skill because we have, and I noticed like that we have schemas in our heads. You know, like before bed one night, I was like, I think I was talking to myself, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about any of you, you know. And I was just thinking about, I think like thinking about some family members or something, like what I would say to them, you know. Like I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about any of you. However, as soon as I see I don't give a fuck about any of you on a piece of paper, and that piece of paper says Rickon must say I don't give a fuck about any of you, it automatically becomes it automatically takes on this weird thing, whereas like without that it was just like this organic fucking just steamroll, you know. Whereas when you put it on paper, you're like, oh fuck, I gotta.
You gotta be perfect.
I gotta. Yeah, exactly.
It's gotta be whatever perfect is in your mind.
Right.
And like life is messy, and that's what people like watching. They like watching like authenticity, you know. And I actually I had an audition 2 days ago. It was like, you know, there was like a scene basically with an older man that I'd be playing who doesn't want to grow up, who like lives in the basement of like one of his friend's houses, and his friend, she has a kid who identifies, the kid is biologically a female, but she identifies as a male. So they're going to like undergo, you know, gender reassignment therapy. And my character, although he's unrelated, you know, he has been with this younger person for a long time. He's got to know him now. And he's just like, hey, this kid's like really young. Do you think that this is a good idea for him to go through with this? Do you think he's going to regret it? Is he too young? And like when I was doing the scenes, you know, it's like you gotta kind of just put yourself in those imaginary circumstances of like how, like really, you'd be sloppy. You'd be sloppy if you're really passionate about something. You'd be sloppy, you know. So like as I'm listening, you know, to the other characters' lines, I'm trying to really feel something come through me about my thoughts on the subject, and I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with it.
That's a really good role. I mean, that's such a fantastic. It was surreal.
Yeah, that's why I decided to audition for it. Yeah. And there's actually even a good chance that I won't be able to do it because I think I might be out of town when they're filming it. Yeah. But I messaged them. I said, hey, I'm going to be out of town for these dates you're filming. And they're like, well, we might film it then or we might film it later on. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll just shoot the audition anyways. Yeah. Because I liked the material. Yeah. I was like, this is cool material.
That's great.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Rick, and you're so supportive.
Well, I mean, you didn't write it, so I'm fucking with you. Well, look at you, Mister. I'm gonna message the filmmakers. And I'm going to tell them, I love
your script so much. Writing. I would totally do it.
But I'm not going to be in town.
But I'm going to be out of town.
I'll be at Red Bull Racing.
I'll be with the Paparazzi boys.
Paparazzi boys.
But I can easily shift from paparazzi to actor. Okay? It's really easy for me.
Look, I would love to do your trans biopic film. Yeah. That is probably going to go to the Oscars. But I'm shooting a Paparazzi boys Instagram live special. So I'm sorry. It's gonna have to be a pass, brother. brother.
Yeah, but no, dude. And like whenever I'm like watching a movie, I'm a big fan of like I just watched The Shining last night.
No, for the first time?
No, not for the first time. It was like I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And I just like watch these actors and I just like, I try to like find out like what makes them compelling, like
Nicholsonian. Yeah. Nicholson, dude.
Yeah,
My
like
favorite performance ever.
just trying to think like what makes him so compelling, you know? What are they doing? Is it like highly contingent on the writing?
I mean, honestly, dude, I feel like that movie is a special case. That movie changed Jack Nicholson's career. Like after he did that movie, like it's such a like Kubrick directing Nicholson in that way. There's nobody like that. Nobody on the planet Earth behaves the way Nicholson behaves in that movie. I mean, that movie is almost a cartoon, like cartoonification of a man who is like under the throes of a psychological breakdown. And like even like if you watch Nicholson, I think the Here's Johnny when he like opens
I'll
up the thing.
huff and I'll puff and
Yeah.
I'll blow your house down.
Yeah, and even when and even before he does that, he's like, and he makes that like face where he's like huff and I'll puff, and it's so comic, but he and the Here's Johnny line, he improvised the line. Like that line didn't exist in the script when he said Here's Johnny. Like I think there's a lot of stuff Nicholson did. And I think, well, Nicholson's also one of those performers who's very, it's known that he's a very, very like talented storyteller. So he's like a writer, and he uses his writing to kind of define the choices that he makes.
You want to make it in Hollywood, kid, you gotta be a good writer.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was watching a Matt Damon. It was like Matt Damon interview, and he was like, yeah, talking about how Nicholson was like talking about The Departed. There was a scene where, like, I think the scene was he shoots his captive, and then walks away. That was on the script. That was the whole day.
That's what was supposed to be shot.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Nicholson goes, okay, we can do that. That's fine. However, we can make it a lot more interesting if we can first of all turn the man that is the captive, we turn him into a woman. And then I say the line, she fell funny. And like, I think what he's doing is trying to add to the character, add a sense of menace to the character, because the audience is supposed to be feeling kind of freaked out by this person, right? And if you just have somebody, you know, as you know, you have a captive, you shoot the captive, and that's it.
Next scene.
Right. But when he says she felt kind of funny, like first of all, it's a she. He's completely changing it, and he's killing a woman, which adds its own like little vibe about it. And then he says she fell funny, which we're saying hi to people. Hello,
dude. That guy, I can't remember like who he looks like, but that guy with the mustache looked a lot. God, who the fuck he's an actor. Oh my God, that guy that just went by, like he looked like with that mustache, dude. You saw his mustache?
I saw it was like a handlebar, right?
He was like a handlebar mustache, bald head. Oh God, I'm trying to think of what this he looked like. Like a character from this movie I was thinking about.
Wait, it was a Peaky Blinders?
No, I don't think it was almost like a Gangs in New York type movie.
Okay, not like John C. Reilly from Gangs in New York.
I can't remember, but there was like. It might have been that guy was like straight out of Gangs in New York.
But he had like a Arc'teryx jacket on. He was like, face was Gangs of New York, but the rest of his body was like a millennial circa 2021.
Yeah, probably lives in Bushwick.
Probably.
But no, like I've seen that.
You know what I'm talking about.
I've seen that clip. I've seen that clip before. Yeah. And no, I mean it's true. Like, you know. Like when you get a script, it's like, you know, it's like even like on those like little, you know, action lines, you know, it kind of like it really helps to like just really look into him a little bit more. I personally thought he was amazing in that movie. Some people think that he was just unhinged.
I loved that movie. That's my favorite performance.
Yeah,
it's just so Nicholson specifically for me, I think he's one of my favorite actors. First of all, I think because there's just this like cartoonishness about him. Like he's able to hit like I was watching the Missouri Breaks. It's him and Brando, and they're like in the 1800s. It's an okay movie. It's literally Brando just like dressing up in all these different like he's like taking on these different accents and just like killing people all over Missouri. There's one moment where he like dresses up like an old lady and just like snipers somebody like from a rooftop.
I've never seen this. It sounds very interesting.
It's such a ridiculous movie, but they actually made movies back then like this, like Old West. But there's like it's like when Nicholson's sad, for somehow he's able to like take on this like it almost looks like a cartoon when he's sad, like it, but it makes so much sense. You're like, how the fuck like he's that charismatic, but. Yeah.
And his eyebrows are crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that
like,
helps.
Yeah, his eyebrows are nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I watched The Shining last night. It was fucking trippy. I was smoking a little bit of the devil's lettuce. And and that just
that would freak me the fuck out. It's still a freaky as fuck movie.
I gotta say that kid was really, really good too. The kid actor,
2-year-old,
something Lloyd. Danny Lloyd or something.
Yeah, Danny Lloyd.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
I don't know. Does he still act?
I'm not sure.
That's tough, man. To like, I feel like child actors. It's such a like to be successful later on in the career, but like to get that much success early on.
Yeah, where do you go from there?
No, it's like and maybe you don't have the. I mean, sometimes people are lucky and they have the right people around them that know how to fuck with it, like that know how to like have a understanding. Like Drew Barrymore, for example. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how it would have been if she didn't have like her whole family was in the business. You know, she did ET, but like all these kids that make. I mean, maybe Stranger Things might be a little bit of a different case, but I think it's got to be brutal. Like, I would not. I was thinking the other day, I would not have been. It wouldn't have been good for me to be like mega famous as a young person because I was. Even in anonymity, anonymous, I can't say the word, but like I was a fucking psychopath from age like, I still am to a certain extent, but like from age like 12 to 26, man, I just didn't fucking psychologically just no way, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was a kid, like I just want to like ride my bike and play with squirt guns.
Right.
You know?
And imagine you're taken from that world and you're put into this like limelight. Like what does that do to your brain?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the Culkin, like Macaulay Culkin, like fucking just went berserk, right? Like after he had that success, like, you know, what was the movie?
Home Alone?
Home Alone, yeah. Like how did I not think about that? But yeah, I feel like that completely... Yeah, he became like a super like crazy fucking.
He started that band with a pizza band.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, he was in that band for a while. Something pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's when he had like the super long hair and like the big beard. Everyone said he was on drugs. Honestly, I don't think he was on drugs. I think he just wanted to be.
You think he just like looked like that?
I think he just wanted to be a rock star. Yeah. I think he just wanted to be a rock star for a while, but then he shaved the beard, he cut his hair again, and now he's.
I could have sworn he was
back in the
he
public
was
limelight.
never on drugs. I
don't know. I think he just like
interesting
was in a rock band.
Hey, who's that?
Oh, that's fucking Kieran. Dude. What the hell, bro? Holy shit.
Well, not Kieran Culkin.
That's fucking Kieran Murray. He's the
Kieran Murray. Paparazzi boy just walked by.
The fucking paparazzi boy.
Just walked by, dude.
That's nuts, dude. I was just with him a little bit ago. He's going to do yoga.
Oh,
he's definitely going to do yoga.
Okay.
He can't miss his yoga, bro. If he misses yoga, he's not going to be in a good spot.
Not a happy man. Not a happy fucking man.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out Kieran Murray.
Kieran Murray. There's a Kieran Culkin. That's why I said Kieran Culkin.
Oh, hilarious.
Spit all over this mic.
Spit on that thing.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Spit on that thing.
What's she up to now?
Bro.
She minted, though, dude. Dude, she knew. She was ready. That's insane. I feel like that. I watched
a lot of her content.
Like what? Like her podcast and shit?
She's got podcasts,
She's got
collabs with
everything.
everybody now. She's got like
insane.
merchandise.
But she hit, dude. She like, I feel like there were so many. They knew whoever her manager was, whoever they got in touch with, like they were like, all right, we know we have a 3-week period of time where we can just like hit this as hard as we possibly can. Hats,
Cash in.
just dude, she must have made like at least $3 million. Just like probably made more.
Yeah, I'm sure she's just fine.
Rolling, dude.
And like from what I've seen of her, like she seems like pretty chill. Yeah, she seems like pretty chill.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She's not like the Catch Me Outside girl. I don't think
Well, then again,
it's like a polar opposite. I think
the Cash Me Outside girl is probably cashed out the most though.
Yeah, probably.
She OnlyFans like $12 million. Did you hear about that?
Damn.
I think either she's totally made 12 million or she made 12 million in 1 year. OnlyFans content.
Goddamn.
Right. Yeah. It's like she did fine. Also, although she has to show her body parts for money. I don't know. I feel like there's everybody kind of complains about OnlyFans, not everybody, but like some circles that I'm in, people are like, oh man, girls don't really have to work. They can just like get on OnlyFans and fuck around and do that. But I also think to myself, all right, like, look, there's a payment for everything. And, showing your,
Cooter?
vagina or penis, like all over to like millions of people, like, all right, is that a price you're willing to pay? I mean, some people would say, yeah, sure, like, fuck it, I don't care. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been faced with that, but who knows? Maybe I would be the person that's like, yeah, dude, let's fucking go, dude. I don't care, man. Give me my 12. I'll cry my tears with my $100 bills.
Yeah. I
Dry my tears with that shit. What would you do? What would you... If I had a gun to your head, if like Christopher Walken was like, John...
making the OnlyFans now or blow your brains in.
And show your penis to 6 million people.
I say, you know what, Christopher Walken? All right, let's do it.
Oh, but he also has a gun to your head, so I guess maybe no, I'll take that out of the equation. Like, say there's no pressure, but they just say, like, you're guaranteed a contract.
Well, imagine, like, what if, like, someone like Christopher Walken right now, like, started an OnlyFans?
That would be insane.
Yeah,
dude.
like what, like, you know what I mean? Like, Christopher Walken don't got to worry about getting casted in movies. He's just going to get casted in movies. He's Chris Walken. But now he's got his acting, and then he's got his OnlyFans on the side. It's like, I don't think people are going to talk shit on Chris Walken because he's got an OnlyFans.
I would love to see Christopher Walken do, like, tease content where he just teases you. He basically, like, unbuckles his pants and then goes... Oh, I forgot my pants to unbuckle. He buckles them back up, and that's the video. He'd still make like millions though, just because he's just like, I just find it funny of him just like teasing you, like with potentially seeing him naked, but you just never do.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go for a no on the OnlyFans.
Yeah?
Right now. Yeah.
Now, I think okay, all right. So like doing nude OnlyFans, like masturbation content. Like you'll get like $5 million a year. Like no, thank you.
Nah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't want that to go on my Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were going to talk about that. So John has. Let me look at this. John Toon's Wikipedia. I wanted to save this to just look at it while I'm on the podcast. John Toon Wiki. Oh man, Jamie, pull that up. John Toon beard. John Toon, okay. Oh, this is great. Oh, it's a cute little wiki. Okay, John Toon is an American actor known for his comedic and dramatic roles across television, film, and commercials. Henry Ford College, early life and education. Toon.
I'm just referred to as Toon.
I love how you said Toon was born and raised in Dearborn. It's like you're a football player. You're like, oh, what's up, Toon? Like, Toon was born and raised in Dearborn, Michigan. He attended Henry Ford College and later earned a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in speech and drama from Lake Superior State University. There's nothing about your parents. Nothing about your siblings. Nothing about like your molestation, the trauma that
Dude,
you had.
Don't talk about that.
Okay. All right. Great. Good. So now we know you went to college. Good. Career, Toon.
I'm an educated man.
Toon began acting at Henry Ford College under the membership of Gary Zublinski. How do you say that? Dublinski. Is that like Polish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my acting teacher. How old is he?
No. How was it? How was acting with him? What did he teach you? What fundamentals?
He was just like the first acting teacher I've ever had, and he was just like a diehard theater guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Does he still teach there?
He like lived in the theater. That's how serious.
What do you mean?
Like at the school, there's a theater, and there was like a little room for like the professor, and he just like slept there.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't like his office.
And just like ate like organic peanut butter and like bread.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like he was. Honestly, it sounds like he was living under some kind of hardship. To be honest with you, it sounds like.
I don't know. He was pretty invested.
He was pretty. Yeah. He was in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
He was just like a memorable figure in my life for a long time. Yeah, Jerry Jablinski. He was like the guy that when we're doing theater, he's like, I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit at all. I don't believe what you're doing.
Wow.
He's like, you gotta fucking get the text in your head and forget it.
So okay, you graduate Lake Superior State, and then 2014 you come to New York. So were you just like were you like, I'm going to be an actor and go to New York? Was that your move, or did you come here for something else and then you just were like, all right, I'm really going to pursue it? Or
no, came here for acting.
For specifically acting.
Came here for acting. Damn. I got caught up in odd jobs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say that's an odd job.
That's not an odd job. That is a job that is currently not odd, but very good.
Yeah. Poof.
I was telling Carlo about it, and he was like, "What?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he makes a healthy chunk of change a month and just plays video games and auditions.
I mean, I do a little bit more than that, but I mean,
a little bit more than that.
Yeah. But no, Poof has really been pretty fucking awesome, and yeah, I mean, the producers of Poof saw a lot of the stuff that I did with Austin.
Yeah.
From Ostentatious.
And that's the other thing I think about why I was like, oh yeah, the Poof, seeing you in the other short or in the other film was surprising and like but like in a good way,
Well, I got some other stuff I want to show you too. I'm not sure if I ever showed you. I was in this music video earlier this year.
Yeah.
Where I was the lead.
Yeah. I'll watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like another like not funny role. I was like a homeless war veteran.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I was leading this video, but like I'm gonna send that to you. See what you think about it, because it was actually a really cool acting experience. I literally felt homeless. Yeah. But what I will say is it's funny because like I even just did a short film like 2 weeks ago in Long Island where I played a robber, but it was like a comedy role.
Yeah.
But I'll roll up on some sets. And then people would be like, "Oh, you're the Poof guy. You're the Poof guy. I'm pretty sure. Are you? I saw a commercial, a guy that looked just like you. You're the Poof guy." And I'm like, "Yeah," And it's like, and then I'm doing something completely different.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to wrap up. I got the 5-minute warning call. But anything else you wanna end on? Anything cool happening coming up, or anything you just want to say?
I just want to say, just live your fucking life.
Fuck yeah.
And don't get a 9-to-5 job.
Hey.
No, wait. No, I take it back. If you get a 9-to-5 job, WFH.
Yeah, buddy.
Work from fucking home.
I mean, I tell you, it's a whole different world out there.
Work from fucking home.
Man, beautiful. Yeah, I guess I'll echo work from fucking home, but I'll also say, weather's changing. You might feel a little bit sadness, but keep on pushing because it's nice on the other side. I mean, we're about to hit October. We're about to hit that nice kind of fall weather, so hopefully the vibes are right for that.
I'm going back to Michigan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, in November.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fuck
taking
yeah, dude.
Esther.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. She's gonna get to see like the the fall in full effect.
It's great.
Yeah, but totally though, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
The darkness is coming. Winter. What did they say in Game of Thrones?
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming, but yeah, you just gotta push the New York winter brutality.
New York winter is brutal.
Brutal. I'm hoping to travel to.
You want to go to California again?
No, I think I'm gonna go to. I'm thinking about going to Europe. Knock on wood.
Okay.
In around like Christmas time, I got like some PTO days, so I'm thinking about just taking some of those days and just chopping out of the country for a little bit. And
That sounds rad.
Yeah, but we will have to do another California trip at some point.
Dude, 100%. Yeah. It's not the same without you.
Bro, we'll do it. We'll do it.
We got to go drink some more beers in Nate's honor in Griffith Park.
R.I.P. Nate Hewitt.
R.I.P. Nate Hewitt.
All right. Well, we'll end
OTG,
on
gang.
OTG, gang.
EBB,
Fucking
English Breakfast Boys.
English Breakfast Boys with John Toon. Fucking what a good time this was, John. This was really enjoyable, and
this was really dope.
Maybe
have me back. We
will. We'll have you back. We'll have the whole Paparazzi boys come through for a fucking thing. I think it'll be fun. And I mean, honestly, we'll have to get another mic. We might have to do it somewhere else because if Carlo's in on it as well, that's 5 people. So it'll be a party.
Depending on how many inputs this has, I have a mic kind of like this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
we got Jeff has a slew of equipment too.
Yeah, we can just fucking plug some shit in and make it happen.
Plug that fucking shit in.
Fuck yeah. All right, dude. Baby. Hell yeah, dude.
Hell fucking yeah.
Good shit.
Ooh, gee. White car,
Gentil.
Gentil. Sweet.